I want to talk about something that I think is really personal, and I think a lot of us deal with this. So, I wrote something on YouTube the other day where I was talking about my grandpa. And somebody wrote that they would be so proud of you for doing all the things that you have done and accomplished. And I'm going to tell you this, that they probably would not. My grandpa probably would not be proud of me. My grandparents were not excited about the fact that I went into education. In fact, it was really scary for them. Now you have to imagine who they were as people. They both, I don't think either of them finished even grade school, and my grandma, she was, and this is deeply very personal, she was an orphan, and it was as big for her just to finish what she did and what she accomplished was an amazing thing. And same with my grandpa. He ended up, he went in the military early on. He served in World War II, and he had a hard time after that. He had a lot of PTSD. What we know at the time, nobody knew what was going on, and he had a problem with alcoholism, and it was really tragic, to be honest. But when I went away to university, they were both still alive, and it was really hard for them to deal with it. They thought that I was doing some really unusual things. They didn't understand what was going on in university. They thought that I was a really peculiar person, even though I was just kind of a normal human being that was, going to university. This was back in 2000 or this was 1998, so a few years ago now, but I'm still very going through the transition where more and more people were going away to college and university, and it made them very afraid of what I was doing. And this was a big thing, because it made them reflect on what they've done in their life. I personally think that was a really big thing, and I've had to come to terms with figuring that out because it was such a big thing for them, and they did not view it in a positive way. It was scary for them more than anything, and it really was. Like the comments that they were saying and talking about, it was very much a scary thing. And so if you're doing anything like this, where you are quote unquote moving up in this world, whatever that looks like. Some of us will go away to college, some of us will finish high school, some of us will get an MBA, some of us will move up in their career and become so-and-so or whatever. You're going to experience this. Physicians experience this. Anybody that has sort of moved up in quote-unquote social class, whatever that is, or social status, it's a tricky thing to deal with because people don't view you as, oh, look at this amazing human being doing these kind of things. It's not how they view you. They view you in terms of their lens, and it's scary for them because it makes them reflect on who they are. So I think I want to talk about that. So if you don't know me, I'm Professor Dave Massack. I'm an Associate Professor of Innovation Strategy and Entrepreneurship. And I created this whole reciprocity project to give back as much as I possibly can. There's so many people that help me out that I want to pay the favor forward to help you out. So first of all, if you're going through anything like this, know that you're not alone and you are completely normal to have these experiences. In fact, this is more of what's going on in this world at this moment, where people view other people that have sort of done things in their careers, whether it's scientists, researchers, doctors, whatever, they view them as a threat. And the reason why they view them as a threat is it makes them reflect on who they are as an individual. And I'm of the opinion everybody can get an education. They just have to work and apply themselves and find the right sort of key that unlocks things. And not everybody finds those things because they're in a situation that they're growing up in, that they're in a situation that maybe their surrounding area or whatever kind of doesn't hold them back in the sense of like, I'm going to hold you back, but it makes them afraid of doing things that are moving beyond what everybody is sort of normally used to. Doing YouTube videos, for example, as a business professor is really weird. You're not going to find too many business professors that are doing this, and this is unusual. And so I have to push back a lot against that feeling of other people judging me, because they are. And I have to push back a lot of all of these kind of things. And you, if you're going through these experiences, you have to realize that you're going to go through them. And that's just part of being human beings, because people are going to reflect on who they are by seeing what you're doing. And they're going to say, well, who do they think they are? They're high and mighty, and they're doing all this kind of stuff. And look at them, they're trying to they're making me feel bad. And these are human emotions that we all have. And it doesn't matter who we are and what sort of social status we are. If you're the King of England, you're still going to look at the King of Sweden and say, who do you think you are? And so you have to reflect on some of these things as you're moving up and as you're trying to do things. Know that you're going to start feeling these emotions as other people start looking at you. And you just have to have that gut feeling inside that you're doing the right thing. And you're doing it not for them, you're not doing it for you either. You're doing it because it's the right thing and that it matters in this world. And that's it. That's all you have to sort of focus on. And other people are going to judge you and look at you. And you just have to simply be okay with that, and know that it's not you that's going through this. It's them. They're dealing with a lot of emotions where they're reflecting on things that are deeper than who you are. And those things, the only thing that you can do to change, to connect with them, is to just have empathy and know that it doesn't. These changes don't happen overnight, and you could just simply demonstrate that you have a good life, and you're trying to do good in this world, and you're trying to do it for a decade. It might take you a decade, it might take you 2 decades, it might take you 3 decades before other people start sort of buying in and seeing what you're doing, whatever the thing that you're doing on, whether it's going to college or whatever, and they might never ever come back and reflect on you or come back and be nice to you or whatever. Just know that it's them that's dealing with this, and it's not you who has to deal with the emotional effects that they're going through. And the only thing that you could do is, honestly, is just to have heck of a lot of empathy for those folks, because that they're in a situation where they can't see that there are opportunities, that there's amazing things in this world that are beyond what they're doing, and that it takes an awful lot of work to get there, but you can actually get there if you dedicate some time to doing it. So that's all I want to reflect on is, don't do things to make other people proud, because they're never going to be proud. Even if you think that they should be proud, whether it's your grandparents, your parents, your siblings, whatever, your wife, your husband, your spouse, whatever, they probably might never ever be proud of you. And you don't do it because of trying to make them proud or making you feel better. You probably will never ever feel good either, because you're in the situation where other people are looking down on you or, making you feel bad. But you do it because it's the right thing to do. And this is the most important thing, where you have this sort of longer term objective where you see that the world can actually be better if I do these things, and I'm proud of doing those things. And then as you do that, what will end up happening is that the world will sort of form around you, and people will see that you're trying to do good things, and you just have to move forward with that. and hopefully you'll make new friends, you'll make new family members as you continue to do this over the long run. It's not going to be easy in the day to day, but over decades, it does, you do accomplish a lot, and hopefully you're making incremental changes in other people's lives for the better. So with that, give me a thumbs up. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel. I do appreciate it. Take care and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.